Okay, welcome to Fantastic Dimensions. Today we are kicking off the Fury of the Jotun campaign set in Lloyd's fantasy Viking D&D setting. So without any further ado, I'll hand it over to Lloyd and let you get us started.
Okay. Um, yep. So this is going to be a setting that is of my own creation. It's Viking themed, Norse themed, relatively low magic, and I guess we'll just get going. So, um, Slitter, Andruk, and Hans, you are in a place called Hengelholm, and that is the little town that belongs to Jarl Hengil. And last night, you performed a very successful raid on a nearby Jarl's town, and you got a lot out of there. You all performed very well, and you're now feasting in the hall of Jarl Hengel. Um, Jarl Hengel is like a really big guy. He's got this big red beard, he's got one eye, and he's got a sword belted to his waist. And even from where you're sitting, you're not on the top table, but even when you're sitting, you can see it's an unusual, an incredibly fine sword. It glows a little bit, and the blade isn't metal; it looks like bone. Um, and so he stands up. Everyone's drinking and carousing and having a good time, and he says, "My friends, we've won a great victory. The gods are pleased, and more importantly, we're stinking rich. Let's drink and be hearty. Let the gods keep the wolves in the hills and the women in our bed." And then he cheers, and everyone takes a big drink. Um, Before this, you both got two golden torques, which is like an armband, and that's how it's both a show of wealth and it's also a show of kind of gratitude from the Jarl. And it means that you are Huskarls. You are in service to him now. This is like a big deal. This is kind of certainly what Vondruk would want, and Hans as well. Slitter maybe not so much, but it's a good opportunity um, to make some money and to gain some glory. You've picked up lots of gold and silver, enough to get you probably a nice house and a bit of land, since you're now going to be a Huskarl. Next to the Jarl is a man called Bragi, Tide Seer. He's a blind man, he's wearing robes, and he's a seer. On his other side stands Woden Shieldbiter, and he's a really famous warrior. So, you're sitting in this feast hall. People are drinking and they're carousing and they're doing all sorts of stuff. There's arm wrestling going on. There's people playing the finger dance, which is where you throw an axe and someone tries to catch it. All these kind of very dangerous but very fun for warrior games. What do you guys want to do? Um, I don't know. You have a choice of whatever you want to do. You can mess around. You can just sit there quietly. You can get drunk, which I'm assuming Vondruk wants to do. Um,
I will drink moderately,
mhm.
but I'll participate in some of these games. I'm actually a big fan of drunken rowdy games like shooting arrows in the shields, and
Mhm.
while other people are holding them, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
there's lots of that going on. I mean, it's a really big hall. There's a big fire in the middle, and all these kind of tables set around. And there's like a platform at the end where the Jarl is sitting. Um, and yeah, so there's a couple of games going on. There's people playing the finger dance, which is where you stand opposite each other. You both throw an axe, and then you both try and catch the axe. And it's called the finger dance because people lose fingers a lot. People are arm wrestling. They're just plain wrestling. There's people sparring. There's people playing that game you just mentioned, which is the shooting arrows at each other while the other person holds a shield. Um, yeah, so people playing dice as well, of course.
Oh well, dice is my favorite, so I'll actually go play some dice.
Sure. So you can walk over to a table and they look at you and they see that you are, of noble descent and you're a cleric of Odin, and they're like, um, "Hail, take a seat, sir."
Bondruk will, of course, be drinking very, very heavily. He's actually playing a drinking game with several people, and just completely, over the top, hitting on any of the comely wenches around.
Oh, there's
Just
plenty of comely wenches hanging around the place.
he's just partying and drinking everyone else under the table. And, anytime one of the girls is able to wiggle her way out of his lap, he grabs another comely wench and pulls her right back down into it.
Mm-hmm.
To loader!
They kind of start realizing that when you start chanting to loader, that you are very good at drinking games, and some of them are a bit annoyed because you've won some money off them and things like that, and they're a bit like, oh, that's not really so cool. And so they're getting a few funny looks from tables around you. What about Slitter?
Slitter walks over to the Jarl and to Shieldbiter.
Mm-hmm.
He takes his new Torg in his hand, and on the head of it is like a serpent, and on the other head is another serpent. And he says, I want to show you something. He pulls out a little box, and on the inside of the box is a small serpent itself with two heads, one on each end. And he closes it, and he puts it back into his pocket, and he says, I think we've been meant to meet together for a long time. You can check with Bragi, the seer, about this. But what I want to know is, have you heard any rumors of giants in the area? Giants that might have slain some towns or killed some people.
And he kind of he's impressed with your jewelry, and then he does this big hearty laugh, like, giants, my boy. There haven't been giants around these parts for thousands of years.
I let out a cold breath.
Am I within earsight
Been.
or ear? Like, can I hear this?
Yeah, you can hear it. And just so you know, there haven't been giants around. Like, people like you haven't seen giants in literally thousands of years.
But I know better.
You do know better, yeah. What did you want to say, Hans? If you're within earshot?
If I hear him talking about giants, I'll actually walk up there because I have suffered awful visions, especially in my dreams, of a coming disaster where I've seen giants raiding the lands.
Do you mention these dreams, or do you just walk up there?
No. I just walk up there.
I say, hell, Hans.
The Jarl kind of chuckles about the whole thing, and he's like, Slitter, I know you're a careful man. I understand that, you have to be careful about these things, and you're not fully one of us. I'm sure you've got your own things that you understand in a special way, but giants don't exist, my boy. No, they haven't. Odin took care of them thousands of years ago. Now, come on, let's have a drink and let's all relax and have a good time. We're rich, and he toasts.
Yeah, as he says that, my quote unquote raven eye kind of leers towards the seer.
Mm-hmm. The seer is sitting there quietly, not talking to anyone. He's kind of he's eating soup out of a loaf of bread. That's how you would eat soup at the time. You would just carve out a loaf of bread, pour the soup in. He's just eating that really slowly, not talking to anyone.
I say, seer, why don't you let those eyes talk and tell us what you have to say of giants?
I have no control over what the gods allow me to see.
I put a couple coins on the table, and I say,
I laugh at that.
Do they find favor now?
He even chuckles. And he's
you're doing it wrong, lad.
Yeah, you don't understand.
I sit down in front of the seer.
Well, if he just laughs, then I will walk past, grab an ale, stare at my face down in it, and just kind of contemplate to myself.
And he looks at you, even though he can't see, he still looks at you. And he says, the visions are not something that are enjoyable for me. They bring great racking pains to my body. It is an affliction and a blessing. When the visions come, you will know.
So your curse alienates you, but it elevates you at the same time. I understand.
Exactly. All right. So we'll go to Kier. Kira, you recently had a particularly vivid dream where you saw perfectly clearly a town and a sword made of bone and a red-skinned man with a black beard and burnished brass copper sort of plate mail that was smoking. He was holding this sword, and behind him stood several giants, and he was laughing like a maniac. So you saw this, and you wake up with a really clear word in your mind, and that word is Hengelsholm, and that's where you have been walking to for the last month or so. You're about 2 hours outside the city, or the town, I should say. It's not really a city. And it's dark, it's cold. There's snow starting to fall quite heavily. Yeah. So what would you like to do in the wilderness at the moment?
In the wilderness, well, can I see any buildings anywhere in close distance?
You can see the vague glow of the town of Hengelsholm ahead, and that's it.
Well, I'm definitely. What's the time of the day?
It's just becoming night, so it's maybe 6 in the evening.
6 in the evening. Well, I'm definitely gonna go towards the town, but I'll try to do it stealthily.
Sure.
To basically, I'm always careful. Kier is always careful what he's doing. He's not trying to be hostile, but definitely doesn't want to show his face straight away. He prefers to see before being seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will you make a perception check as well?
Perception check, sure.
Yeah.
That's 6 plus. What's my? Come on. 10 exactly.
10. All right. You don't notice anything particularly unusual. You do kind of hear what you think is like a twig snapping, but then you're like, that happens all the time out here. It's not a big deal. And you continue on your way to Hengelsholm.
I'm gonna definitely be very careful. If I could hear that, that would definitely put me on a. I don't want to change. I don't want to show that I heard something.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't want to show that I heard something, but I want to be close to some of the trees in case I want to quickly hide behind it or something like that.
Sure.
But I carry on walking. Yeah. If you need a stealth check or anything like that to do.
Yes, please.
Oh my god! Whoa, this is pretty bad. But let's have it out of the way. But it's 1 plus 9 because I've got the roguish double proficiency. So.
Okay. So you got a 10.
10, yeah. Unfortunately, only a 10.
All right. Laurier, you have been sent to this town. This is the most northerly human settlement. And you have seen in the north not dozens, which would be unusual, not hundreds, but thousands of giants. And they've been raiding all across the very loose federation of Kaldalfur towns. And so, despite the fact that you absolutely despise humans as weak and as prey, your chieftain has said that the enemy of your enemy is going to be your friend. And so you've been sent to contact Hengelsholm, which is the most northerly town. So you've been going that way. On your way, you have seen tracks, and you started to follow them because that's the kind of thing that you would be inclined to do.
Absolutely. What kind of tracks are they?
They look to be human.
Humanoid tracks.
Humanoid, yeah.
Human-shaped boots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would probably, if it's heading towards Angle's home, I would instinctively probably track it and try to be
Yeah,
stealthy in the process as well.
sure. Roll me a stealth roll, please.
That's going to be an 11 plus 9 for 20.
Okay, so you're able to get within about 10 feet of what looks like one of you, but he's kind of more grey than white. And you can see that he's trying to sneak. Um, but I mean, to you, a master of stealth, it just seems, childish that he's. It's like he's doing a pantomime sneak. He's like lifting his
Right,
feet up and
right.
trying to sneak. And you're like effortlessly walking behind him, and you can just see him there.
And he's not from my tribe for sure.
No, he's not.
There's not very many left.
Hmm.
Does he have any tribal markings? Is he from a rival tribe? I'll start to draw one of my daggers.
You don't see tribal markings on him.
Hmm.
He's not dressed like you would dress either. I mean, your dress would be appropriate for a Kaldother, but
Of course.
very minimal in what you would actually wear.
Hmm.
He's
Camouflage white and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's wearing leather armor. He is.
No, actually, I'm not wearing a leather armor.
You're
If
not?
that's it.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no.
What are you wearing? Explain.
I'm wearing. Sorry, because there was no introduction of
That's fine.
characters.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's gonna. He's wearing a hooded top that's quite warm, quite thick. But it's not leather armor or anything like that. What you could see, if his hands are sticking out, you would see a black star tattooed on his right hand.
Okay. And this top you're wearing, what color is it? Is it wool? Is it
Sorry, say again.
the top you're wearing? Is it wool?
It's like a very very thick cotton
And
type of
what
thing.
color is it? He's wearing cotton? How bizarre.
Yeah, it's black.
It's black.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, he's obviously no real Kaldoff. I
Yeah.
put my dagger back into its sheath, and I just have the spear in my other hand, and I'm 10 feet away from him.
Yeah.
So Laurier says, "Boo," and you hear it. He makes it audible. He's trying to get your attention.
And Kia just stops, turns around slowly, puts a hand on his blade, doesn't draw it, but just says, "I know I've been followed."
What was your first clue?
Well, you stepped on something.
Who are you? What
Does
are
it
you?
matter? Does it matter to you?
It may matter to you as well.
Well, let's say I'm another being going the same direction as you.
Hmm. You're going to the human settlement.
Can I see? Can I see? Can I see?
Oh, you want me to describe my character to you? I'm sorry. I should
Yeah,
probably.
exactly. Can I see your face at all?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
wearing a hood or anything of that sort. I had posted it on Facebook, but he's really pale skin. He looks like an albino. He's a true Kald elf. So my skin is white. Unlike an albino, though, I actually have like golden eyes. They're not red, but they're actually a golden color. Pure white hair, a white fur cloak over my, probably I imagine they have some way of bleaching their leathers. So even my armor, my leather armor is white as well. I'm carrying a spear in my right hand.
Oh,
I have a longbow slung over my back, and I have two daggers, one on each hip. Aside from that, see, I have a quiver of arrows and a small pack which I carry, and that's pretty much it. I'm pretty minimalist other than that.
okay. Well, fair enough. Well,
No boots, barefoot.
barefoot.
Hmm.
Ooh, wow, interesting. So I take. Well, Kier takes off his hood of his head, and now you can see his eyes glowing a bit, but it's not bright yellow. It's kind of orangey, yellow orangey kind of color.
Grayish skin.
And he looks at you and goes like, looks at your feet, goes like, you got yours stolen somewhere?
I'm sorry.
Your feet are bare. There's no shoes on them. There's no boots on them. Did you get robbed?
Why would I need boots? It's easier to sneak up on things without trappings on your feet to make you noisier and to make you stumble.
Bizarre. No boots, white skin. I'm pretty sure I know who you are. As in, I recognize your. I've heard stories. I've never seen out of character. Obviously, I've never seen a Kaldorf.
No.
Kaldorf before.
Generally, anyone who sees a
And I've
Kaldorf
got,
doesn't
but
get.
but I would have an idea, right?
Yeah, you would have heard of them as like ghost stories, you know.
And I'm pretty like curious. Really, he doesn't know what to do. Like he's completely, uncertain how to behave. But then he thinks
What's
that
the matter, child? Have you never seen a Kaldorf before? Ah, no, of course you haven't. You're still alive.
well, I haven't, but I definitely haven't heard good stories about you lot. And he still holds his hand on his blade, but
No good stories about my lot. Ha, I certainly hope not. What are you? I still can't figure you out. You're no Kaldolf, you're no Skogolf, but you're no man either.
Well, I'm not pretty sure what I am, but I know where I'm going.
And why? Why do you travel to this town?
Well, that's my matter. I've no need telling you, really. But I don't want any problems here, and I understand you don't need any problems since you didn't attack me straight away.
Have you wine or spirits?
No, but I'm pretty sure there's plenty of it at the place we're going to.
Ah, you're hardly worth anything to me. Fine. Follow me. Stay behind, though. I'll not have you alerting everything ahead of us.
I was going to suggest that, and he just smiles and goes behind his back.
And I have eyes in the back of my head. Don't get any ideas.
If I did have any ideas, I would already take my blade out.
I like you, strange one. Follow me, and I will, jog up ahead.
Okay. Can you both roll perception checks, please?
Sure. Yes, that is a 17 plus 6, 23.
Perception will be for me this time 14.
Okay, so you both hear thumping in the distance.
Which direction?
Behind you. But like a good bit behind you. Yeah, you though, because you are so incredibly keen with your hearing, you can hear voices speaking in Giant, which is something that you would be familiar with, but pretty much no one else in the world would be familiar with.
Is there any cover nearby?
Yeah, you could run to. I mean, you're in the wilderness, so you could hide in shrubs or in a tree or something like that.
You, strange one, hide behind something. There'll be.
Do you know what it is that's approaching?
Giants.
Okay, well, my suggestion would be to hide, but run towards the city anyway, towards the town.
No, just hide. They'll be able to see you in those strange clothes you wear.
Fair enough. I will then. I'll follow his instructions.
My thinking of this is he has no natural camouflage. He can't hide in the snow like I can. So
yeah.
I will try to cautiously advance. I won't get too far away from him.
Yeah.
Back the way I've come from, to try to get a view and an idea as to how many of these things there are and exactly what kind of giants they are.
Mm-hmm.
If they're giants at all. I know there are other things that speak giant that aren't particularly giants themselves, but still, just in case.
So you kind of creep deathly quiet. It's something you're very good at. And up ahead you can see, making no effort to hide whatsoever, 4 frost giants. And they all look very different. At the front is one. He's got this resplendent sort of cold iron plate mail, and he's got a huge, great sword strung across his back. Next to him walks another one. This one is also wearing plate mail. He's got an enormous shield and a big hammer in his other hand. Behind them walks another one who is naked except for a loincloth, and he has got a sword that makes the great swords look small. It's just ridiculously enormous. And then behind them walks another in robes. And around them are creatures that you've never seen before. They are tall. They're not giants. Not frost giants. They're not 21 feet tall. They're about 10 feet tall. And they look like humans. They've got beards. They've got human-colored skin. But out of their heads come these big curved ram's horns. And there's a bunch of them, and they're following with them. And they're just chatting and, kind
They
of
have
laughing.
human features, like human faces.
Yeah, they have human faces, yeah. And they're just walking, pretty much not a care in the world.
How many of those things are there?
There's 10 of those.
Jesus.
And any chance to recognize what they are, actually?
Well, no. They've never been seen before.
Okay.
I'm going to sneak as quietly as I can back over to where he is, within earshot of him, and say, okay, this fight is too much for us. Move. And I'll start moving as fast as I can and as stealthily as I can towards that that we're heading towards.
I just move my head and follow.
Yeah, you can kind of keep to the shrubs and the trees and stuff. They're walking on the road, and
I can try to assist him, right, with his stealth or
yes,
something.
you can. Yeah.
Check or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Should I roll a stealth or?
the way it usually works is we both roll, and if like half of the group succeeds, then basically the people who succeeded are well enough to aid those who didn't. The group
yeah.
succeeds.
Hopefully I nailed it. 28 this
Oh,
time.
nice.
I got 17 plus 9, so 26.
Yeah,
Jeez.
you guys are perfectly stealthy.
I made my effort this time.
Yeah, with the danger present, you decided, okay, this is the time to shine. So you guys managed to stick to trees and shrubs and stuff, and you're pretty much, you're going to be just outside the walls of the town. The giants are walking very slowly. They were in no hurry when you saw them, and you guys were kind of running, so you're a good bit ahead of them now. We'll go back to the people in the hall. So, you guys are still enjoying yourself. Does someone want to play a game?
I'm actually still sitting across from the seer.
You are.
Yes.
Do you want to talk to him?
I will, I take a drink and I'm looking down into my glass, but my eyes kind of roll up to him. And I tell him, that I know he has seen a vision. He's just not sharing it with everyone. The gods have blessed me with a vision, therefore I know they must have blessed the seer with one as well. Well, I use the word cursed.
Yeah. He says he doesn't know what you're talking about. He says he has had no visions.
I start describing my dream about the giants ransacking human cities.
Okay, yeah, he's listening very intently. When this is happening, Vondruk, you have gone too far with your drinking contests. You bet the wrong guy, basically. You said, okay, I'll bet you 50... actually, I'll bet you my arm torque against your arm torque that I can outdrink you. And he said, outdrink me? You could never outdrink me. And you did. You absolutely schooled him. You finished your keg, whatever it was, in about 3 seconds, and he was barely started. And he's humiliated. And so what he does is he kind of does this like depreciating smile. He's like, yeah, okay, and then he headbutts you. So you'll take 4 damage. And then he goes and draws a blade. He draws a sword and he picks up a shield.
Oh shit!
And a bunch of the Vikings around, they just like throw some of the tables to the side and they make a circle. And basically he's challenged you to a duel.
Wow, this is happening. I'm gonna try and pinch the Jarl's sword.
You're gonna try and pinch the Jarl's sword. Okay.
Yeah, Von Droog just kind of laughs. And he stands up his full 6 feet 5 inches.
He looks up at you and he's like, "Okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay."
He reaches over and grabs his staff, and slams it on the ground in front of him. Not hard, but his staff is very unique. It's got a silver shaft that's as tall as he is. And
I will stand up and just shout, "Everyone stop!" Like as burly and loud as I can.
And like a bunch of the guys are like, "Oh, come on, it's fine. This happens all the time. What are you talking about?"
If they're going to fight, they will not do so here in this hall. They will go outside in the presence of all the gods.
No, don't worry, cleric. I'll take him outside. And the head of the staff is a giant. Looks shaped like a giant water drop, but it looks like it's made of glass, and you can see liquid sloshing around inside.
Okay.
It's not actually, obviously, because it needs to be able to take a hit. It's very thematic.
Yeah, I'm on board. Okay, so like a bunch of the Vikings and stuff are like, yeah, fight, and you're brought outside, because as Hans said, duels are done in the sight of the gods. So you're brought outside and you stand just in front of the house, or the longhouse, and the circle forms, and then roll initiative, please. Just you. Unless someone else wants to get involved, but that would be very frowned upon.
That's 19, no modifiers.
Okay. You can go first.
I kind of laugh. You wish to take on a paladin loader, you damned fool. I'm going to strike out with my staff, and that is an 18 plus 6 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that was a 2, which means I can re-roll it for my Great Weapon Fighting. And that will do 13 points of damage, and I'm going to go ahead and expend a second level spell slot.
Okay.
Just for the hell of it. And that one will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14 points of radiant damage.
Okay. Yeah, so you pretty much swing it around and you crack him right in the jaw with it, and he goes down, and he stands up and he spits out some teeth and he wipes the blood out of his beard, and he puts a shield in front of him. He bangs his axe against it and he runs at you and is going to attack you. So he is going to swing at you with his axe. Let me check what's your AC?
AC is 17.
That's exactly what he rolled. So he will do that, and he'll hit you for a staggering 7 points of damage. And then he's going to bash you with his shield. Wow, he crits with the shield. That's handy. So he does.
You're about to be knocked out.
He does 10 damage, and you're knocked prone. And then he kind of lifts his arms up, and he's like, yeah, and they're all like, yeah.
Yeah, I rolled backwards to my feet. That was a total of 17 damage. Yeah, I'm still way up. Roll to my feet. And this time I'm going to, keep my 10-foot distance. I spin my polearm around and swing it back towards his head. That is a 17 plus 6 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that will do 13 points of damage.
Right, okay. Yeah, he's hurt. He's really hurt. So you hit him in the other side of the face this time, and you hear a crunch, and he spits out more teeth, and now he's pretty much gummy. He's got no teeth left, and he's just, and he can barely speak. But he makes one more swing at you with a desperate attack. So he throws a shield in the ground, and he just swings his axe with both hands for one hit, and that will be 14 points of damage from that.
Oh fuck!
He's furious. He's spitting blood in your face and stuff. He's like, "Ah!"
Oh yes, that's a 19.
Yep, that'll hit him.
Plus 6. Oh, yeah, really wish I had the champion, but I'm not a fighter. So. And that will do 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of damage.
Okay, that'll drop him. So he falls to the floor unconscious. And then the group kind of looks at you, and they're kind of wondering what you're going to do now that he's unconscious.
I walk over.
I look at the Jarl.
Have I pinched his sword yet?
You can attempt to pinch the sword if you like.
All right, great. First, I want to do two. One is a stealth to get over there to make sure no one sees me.
Okay.
And then the second is going to be for the stealing. So the stealth is 13 plus 9, so that is 21.
Okay.
And the pinching is 6 plus 18, so 24.
All right. So you put your hand on the sword, all right, and you are like lifting it quietly away, and you're kind of just about to leave, and then Woden, Shieldbiter, who stands always next to the Jarl, just puts his enormous hand on your hand, and he says,
"What? How did he
Step
even
away.
see me?"
Woden has some powers.
But I have the sword.
No, oh yeah, you have it in your hand, but his larger hand is on your arm, and he says, "Step away."
Oh, and I do. I disengage with him as a bonus action, and then I move away 30 feet outside the building.
You want to take the sword? Okay. All right. So
is this a long sword, a short sword? What kind of sword is this?
it's a long sword, yeah. Vondruk, are you going to finish him off, or are you going to let him just be unconscious?
I spin my pole arm, holding the point of the drop just above his head, and I look at the Jarl.
The Jarl has Shieldbiter whisper in his ear, and he goes, "What? That no good, pointy-eared son of a bitch!"
Jarl, I need a ruling here. Kill him or let him live.
Make your own decision. It's not important. Get the goddamn elf in here, and like.
I look at Vondruk. Let him live. We may need him later.
I will leave it up to Loader. If Loader wishes for him to live, let Loader heal him. I hold the point of the staff just above his mouth as I push divine energy into it. And if Loader wishes for him to live, a drop, this is how my lay on hands works.
Mm-hmm.
A drop of liquid will appear at the tip and drop into his mouth.
Okay, it does.
What?
That is how my lay on hands works.
I like it.
And
Okay,
he will
so
be healed for two hit points.
all right, so he's like on the floor. He's got like no teeth left. He's got like a shattered cheekbone. So he starts wailing and giving out. The bigger concern, obviously, is that Slither has stolen the magical sword.
Have I made it out of the building?
You're at the door of the building. It's quite a large longhouse. So you move 30 feet.
30 feet to the door?
It's huge. There was like 100 dudes in there.
All right.
And this Woden, Shieldbiter, just storms after you. And he gets, obviously, within 5 feet of you, and he draws his ridiculously large sword, and he points it at you, and he says, "Return the sword, or die."
Wow.
He speaks incredibly quietly, but everyone is like quiet when he speaks.
And I'm there next to the door.
Mm-hmm. And then, all of a sudden, there's a noise from the back of the room, and Braggy, the seer, starts shouting. He's like,
I slip out.
He's got his arms out to his side, and he starts shouting. He says, "Icy blue skin, a forked tongue, lies and promises. The eyes are wrong, the blade is taken for fell purpose." And he stops talking for a second, and then blood starts to fall from his nose. And he says, "A serpent clutching its own tail. a man with skin of crimson who is not a man. And he falls onto his knees, and he says, "The ancient foe returns. Thousands of them." So everyone in the hall is just like absolutely silent.
I told you, and I head right out the door.
Everyone is totally silent. When Woden still has his sword pointed at you, no one's moved or anything, unless you want to try and move, but he will attack you as soon as you try and move. And
But that's fine, because if it's my turn, then I will just disengage with him. I will leave out the door, and I will, as I move out the door, I will then take a hide action.
Okay. So he's
coming out the door, right?
Yeah.
You're going to find the point of my staff in your chest.
How is that even possible? You're surrounded by a bunch of dudes, and you've been in a fight, so maybe if you would have played that up earlier.
Yeah, I think you have run outside into chaos or whatever. That's all right. So
I'll give you that.
That whole thing has happened. The guy has spoken his words. He falls to the floor. There's blood pouring from his nose, and everyone's totally silent, including the Jarl. And then a bell rings in the town, and just Vikings start panicking because that means that there's something coming to attack the town. Lorir and Kier, you are outside the town. You hear the bell ring, and you can see that on the road on the way into town is this party of giants and their allies. So they're pretty much standing outside the palisade. It's not a stone wall, it's a wooden wall. It's about 15 feet high. And they're standing out there, and they're just kind of gathering together and trying to decide what they're going to do. And you are, I'll say, 100 feet away from them off to their left.
Okay, and they're outside the palisades of the town. So they got there before us. Basically. Okay.
An easy access into the town from our side?
We have to look for a way to sneak into the town if we can get over the wall or if there's another way.
If you roll perception.
Mm-hmm, will do. 11.
Yeah, you can actually see pretty easy. There's a poster in gate.
16.
Yeah, you can see it as well. There's a poster in gate near enough to where you are. So that's a smaller gate that allows people to get out during a siege, but you can see that. There's a guy standing on the tower on top of that. I mean, it's hardly a tower. It's more like a ladder.
Would you count our stealth so far if we want to sneak in?
Yes, yeah, you can get up to him, no problem.
Okay. In this moment, Kier is communicating with Lorir and saying it without words, and basically what Lorir gets is this strange sensation of words in his head, and Kier says, "Do not freak out. This is what I can do. If you need to speak to me, you don't need to use words."
And I say, excellent. Do you want to kill him or should I?
I don't think killing is the best idea at the moment. I think there's other enemy outside who can take care of them if...
Do you think he's going to let me in through the gate?
Well, I'm pretty sure we can get in there without him even knowing it.
Do you think they left the gate unlocked?
Well, why don't we check?
After you. Show me what you can do.
Okay, so I start sneaking closer and to the gate, trying to investigate if there's any way of getting in. Easy way. Is there any openings? Is there any...
It's a palisade, so it's just wooden stakes stuck in the ground. You could climb.
We could climb.
Mm-hmm. It's not a difficult climb. For people like you who are very fit and acrobatic, you could climb it, no problem.
Okay, well, I would communicate to stay in the shadows, obviously, and try to climb up, and not to jump over straight away, but kind of, stick the head up, and...
Of course, I'm not an idiot.
and see and see what's inside. So
Were
that's
you
what
raised
I'm
by
doing.
humans or something?
Sorry, say again.
Or were you raised by humans or something?
I just look down for a sec, and without words, they say
I climb up over the wall.
there will be time when we talk about this, but not now.
Climb up over and look over the top of the wall.
What do we see?
So you see a small town. There's on a hill a longhouse, quite a big one, and there's maybe 30 buildings apart from that. They're all kind of huts. I mean huts, small wooden houses, thatch roofs. You know, nothing's made of stone, not even the longhouse. And they're kind of, I mean, a bunch of people standing at the longhouse, and they're all kind of shouting, and there's a bell ringing.
Well, with all this distraction, I'd come closer to the most important building, obviously, in this moment.
I think you better do the talking. They're not like to listen to me.
Well, stay somewhere behind, but close. Unless you want to do something else, I don't really care. But I'm going over there.
At this point, Lawyer will actually pull the hood up over his head that's on the white fur cloak that he wears, just because he doesn't want to, spook anybody too much.
Okay.
Yeah, so Kira is going to try and, stealthily again go closer to the building to see what's going on, how people react, and listen to some of the information. And he's going to try and find the person, kind of responsible person within that camp.
So they're kind of, as I said, the thing is up on a hill, and there's like a sort of what would you call it? Like a little, almost a platform of wood, like a stage, and there's some stairs leading up to the longhouse. They're all standing on that. Well, not all of them. Most of them are in the building, but a lot of them are standing on that, trying to get a look at what the hell is going on out here.
Is there any back entrance kind of thing?
You could have a look.
Yeah, I would like to have a look.
You hear them all shouting, "Giants! Giants! Oh my God, giants! Odin, Allfather, protect us!"
Which is why.
If you go around the back of the building, you don't see any obvious way in. There is a window. You could probably try and climb through that.
Okay, I wanna try and climb to that window and see who's inside and who's the Jarl, to recognize people inside and try to identify them.
Okay, so you guys need to roll climb to get in there.
To climb into the window?
It's high enough up. I mean, it's on a hill and it's like on a platform, so it's quite high up.
Did you say athletics?
Okay.
Or acrobatics. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure that I'm going to go in anyway, but I might just pull myself up to see what happens when he goes in.
15 plus. Well, acrobatics is 21, athletics 18.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
they're
got
both-
21
they're-
acrobatics as well.
That's totally fine. Yeah, you guys. So, Kira, you climb through the window. Do you want to jump down?
No, I wanna stay within the shadow outside of the window, and I wanna see who's inside and see who is the most important person there.
Everyone in the
I'll
building.
reach up with the butt of my spear and push him into the window. I can't climb up there with his ass in my way anyway.
I'm definitely trying acrobatics to.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you guys are kind of an opposed roll?
Yeah. Go on. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I guess your strength versus his.
I got 23 acrobatics.
Just dexterity, not acrobatics.
No, just dexterity.
I'm just gonna do strength versus
Then
dexterity.
20.
Okay.
Yeah, no way I'm going to beat that. I only got a 16 strength, yeah. There you
Okay,
go.
so I mean, you
got
push him.
13 strength, but 16 with my check.
And I'm not even turning back to him and communicating telepathically. Do it again, and I kill you.
No, you're gonna
Ass out of the way.
you're gonna have to jump down, but you're not gonna fall. So you can land quietly and.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to actually jump down.
Yeah, no, he pushed you, so you're gonna fall down. The
Okay. So
the question was how hard he pushed you.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Fair enough.
So everyone in the building is looking in the other direction, out towards.
At that point, I climb up then, stick my head in the window, and just look down at him and smile. This like evil, elfish kind of grin.
Everyone in the building is looking, crowding around the door, trying to see what's happening. No one is looking in your direction. You can see the the poor seer, this old man, is like collapsed on the ground, and he's like bleeding quite heavily from his nose and his ears. And that's it. Everyone else is like looking out the front door, or like crowding around the front door. No one's looking in your direction.
Can I
Well,
see the Jarl?
The Jarl is standing at the front. You can't see him.
Okay, wasn't sure.
Oh, we can't see. Oh, he stands at the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say in my head again. You do the talking, remember?
Well, just hide for a moment. And I'm trying to look around. Who's there? Who can I see?
You don't see any of the party. They're all at the front with everyone else.
Well, I'm outside.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the people, in fact, are out the front, and the rest of the people, the Vikings and stuff, are just crowding around the door, trying to get out so they can see what's happening.
You may hear me shouting my epic speech, though.
They certainly will, yeah. So yeah, we'll go back to you guys. In fact, you're pretty much in the same area now, so we'll just start doing it all together. There's like a roar and a crunch as one of the giants kicks the palisade, and it already starts to budge after one kick. So now you guys can decide what you want to do.
Well, I'm out there and I'm yelling. I'm like, gather your weapons and get into your ranks. Our ancestors fought off this menace with the help of the Aesir, and we will show that over time we have grown stronger, and we will fight them off now. The gods will be fighting with us, and if we die, we will feast in Valhalla with the Aesir tonight. But if you run, you will forever be cursed to never see Valhalla.
Awesome. Inspiration for that. Very good. Yeah, and so a lot of the Vikings kind of like, why, and they cheer, and they kind of are like, okay, and they look at the Jarl, and he says, shield wall, I guess, because that's their go-to thing in every situation. He's looking at Woden, and Woden is like, I don't know how effective a shield wall is going to be against 20-foot tall monsters, and the Jarl is like, I don't know what else to do. So they form a shield wall. They find they move down into the town itself, and they find like a gap between two buildings, and they form up there so they can't get flanked. Do you guys want to go with them?
Yeah, as they're forming up, I just say, don't forget your mead, boys.
Yeah, I'm not going to join their formation, but I am going to go with them. Like, I'm kind of pacing around in front of it. I've got my shield and my big spear, like, pacing around back and forth in the front.
So in front of the shield wall?
Yes, waiting for the giants to break through.
All right.
Yeah, in that case. Sorry, go ahead, Josh.
I just walk to the front of the shield wall, set my staff on the ground, lean it against my shoulder, pull my wineskin and pull the cork and take a big, big drink. Look around. Anybody see the fucking elf?
I've definitely, instead of running towards the giants, have hidden myself. I'm just going to have to apply a little bit of strategy because I feel like both forces are going to be against me at this moment. And I'm trying to judge and decide what exactly to do. But first, I don't know if I need to make a hide roll. And if I've already hidden, I would like to investigate the sword first.
Yeah, you've in the chaos you slipped away, so you can. And I think the way that you can do a history check on the sword is what you can do.
Now, from my dwarven kin, I do have this ironwork.
It's made.
I don't know.
It's made of bone, so it's not even made of metal.
Oh, all right. Well,
so you can make a history check.
Just trying to edge that in. All right, I will. Okay, so with my +0 intelligence, I have a 14.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm looking over the sword, I'm gliding my hand over it. I'm nice and hidden, I feel secure. It kind of gleams and radiates power, but with what?
It glows very slightly golden, and the blade is made of, looks like bone, and it's got these kind of carvings all over it that look like a gigantic squid. And so you know that this is actually the sword Kraken Tooth, which is made from the beak of a kraken, and supposedly entirely indestructible. Tyr, the god of war, defeated a kraken in single combat, and he ripped the beak off it and turned it into this sword. And it's been the trademark of Jarl Hengil, and it's won him lots of battles, and people are afraid of the sword because it's the sign of Jarl Hengil, who's quite a powerful Jarl.
Hmm. If it is at all possible, now that I understand the meaning and significance of the sword, I would like to actually hide the sword where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would like to, if I am still by the hall, I would like to see if I can climb myself to the top of the building. Yeah, of course, with all manner of stealth and ingenuity.
On top of the Great Hall, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
So that is 16. Is that acrobatics or athletics?
Either.
All right, yeah, I'll just do athletics, so that'll be a 19 to get up.
Yeah, you can do it.
All right, so I amidst all this chaos, I tiptoe up there like some kind of snow lizard, and I bury myself into the roof of the ceiling, and I look and see how many giants and minions are there?
There are 4 giants, and there are 10 lesser, not giants, but bigger than you for sure.
And if I'm up there, is it possible for me to swear my hunter's mark on one of the giants?
You're probably too far away, I think. I think that's 60 feet, is it?
The spell? I
Yeah.
don't know if this spell has a range.
I think that it probably does. Let me check. I'm just assuming it's 60 because almost everything is 60 feet. But I'll look. Let's see. E, F, G, H. Hunter's mark. 90 feet. No, you're still too far away. So there's about 100. There's about 120 feet from where you are to the gate, and they're about another little bit further than that.
But they're definitely within longbow range.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
I pull out the longbow, and I look for the biggest, baddest one. Since I'm hidden from them, do I get advantage to shoot?
Yeah, they wouldn't expect it.
All right, fucking love it. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot the biggest one in the eye. All right, so since this is an advantage attack, I'll be using sneak attack, and I guess that's basically it. So that'll be an extra 1d8 if I hit. I mean 1d6. So that is a 19 plus whatever. Does that? I'm sure that'll.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. Okay. So. So being buried down into the roof of this, and seeing all the men gather up together in this shield wall, this arrow flies through the air, and it's very lightly snowing right now, but it just pierces each little snowflake as it lands, not directly in the giant's eye, but right in his zagmatic underneath. And when it hits, he turns and he looks to me.
Oh, he certainly does.
And that's going to be 12 points of damage.
Okay. That is enough to drive the giants are kind of standing out there posturing, and that's enough to drive them into actual attacking. So they were kind of hoping that the people inside would just be like, okay, we give up, you're giants. But now you've pissed them off. So the one with the enormous sword, it's bigger than a greatsword would be. So it's just huge. It's like really thick as well. He just walks up to the gate, and he swings the sword around his head, and he, in one single hit, the gate just explodes inwards. And then he laughs. And then we will roll initiative.
I have an 8 plus 3 for 11.
Okay.
Dead 11, no modifiers.
I'm on 10.
I'll let Posey go first.
Okay. 10 is Laurier. Kier? Conrad?
Are you muted?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yep, 14.
Sure. And Vinny?
I am also on 14.
Who wants to go first? You can pick.
Um,
Or you can, I don't know, roll dice or something.
My dexterity mod is +3.
well, then you can go first. Mine's +1. We'll decide it that way.
Sure. Okay. Okay, so the Giants rolled a 17, so they're going first. This one with the enormous sword, he doesn't run. He just walks, dragging this huge sword behind him, and stands 10 feet away from the shield wall. And he beats his chest with one hand, and he lifts his sword and just swings it lazily, like from the ground upwards, at the front row of Vikings. All right, let's see. Yeah, and 11 of them are just knocked into the air. Just into the air straight away, and he like spits on the ground. This guy is naked apart from a loincloth. He's huge. He's actually a little bit taller than the other giants. And he looks really primal. He like doesn't. The other ones have kind of clothes and their beards are a little bit neater. This guy is just like a mane of white hair, a big, thick, hideous beard, like with food in it and stuff. And he's pretty much wearing like a cow carcass as a loincloth. And he has just knocked these guys straight out of the shield wall. The other two big giants wearing the plate mail, they walk forward as well. And the one who is wearing the plate mail with the big sword, he actually sees your shield glinting, Hans. And he sees the sign of Odin, and so he targets you immediately.
Figured.
Okay, that's a miss, and his second attack is going to hit. Okay, that'll be 21 points of damage from his greatsword. So he swings upwards, and it kind of like it hits your shield, so it doesn't cut you in half, but it knocks your shield and it really hurts your arm, and you're knocked. You don't fall over, but you're knocked back a few feet. Then the smaller ones run forward. So they look just like humans, if humans were 10 feet tall, and if humans had horns. And they rush forward, and they kind of charge, and the Viking shield wall is braced. But because of the sudden attack of this guy knocking them forward, they're a little bit out of order. So they just clash together, those two forces, and they're kind of fighting like crazy. And then the guy wearing the robes, he kind of like waves his hands around, and a sort of shimmer appears around him, and he stays where he is, outside of the walls. All right, then it's Kier's turn.
Okay, so I understand that we, myself and Laurie are still in the room.
Yeah.
Everyone probably left running forward.
Yes, almost everyone has run into the shield wall.
Okay, so could we say that the place is empty? I mean, the inside, or
apart from the seer who was unconscious on the floor. Yeah.
Okay, well, Kier wouldn't care about the seer at this moment. I would. How far is it to the exit?
From where you are, at the very back of the room, it'll be about 100 feet.
Shoot.
Quite a big building. It's the biggest building in town by a mile. It's where pretty much everyone hangs out and sleeps.
Well, I'm not gonna. Kier's not gonna take out his weapons because he doesn't want anyone inside who sees him to take him as an enemy straight away. He want to play it a little bit clever. So he wants to run. He wants to run towards the exit, as close to Jarl and important people as possible. But yeah, to communicate with them.
Okay, if you dash, you can get 60 feet. Right?
Yeah, still quite far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Hans Bjornsson, you were in.
Actually, no.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use Misty Step to get even closer.
Okay, so you've moved 90 feet.
Yes.
Yeah, that works, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How far away am I from first people? still?
You're pretty much at the door, so you'd have to run another turn of running before you
Okay.
get to the back line of the shield wall, which is where the Jarl and stuff is.
Okay. Can I shout from where I am?
You can shout.
Okay. I'm not going to yet.
Okay. Hans Bjornsson.
All right, so he gets knocked back a couple feet from this hit, and it's knocked him bloody already. He like almost like a ringing in his ears. He kind of hears ravens cawing as the eyes on his shield start to glow, and a shield of faith appears around him. That's my bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
And then he yells to Valhalla and like thrusts forward with his shield towards the giant that just struck him. And that is a 15.
Yeah, so you hit him in the thigh, but he's got plate mail on, and it just bounces off him.
Okay.
And he kind of chuckles at it.
My acting armor class right now is a 19 now.
Okay.
Because the shield of faith gives me a +2.
Yeah. Okay, so then the various Vikings and the Jarl and everything goes. So you see the Jarl shout the command word, and the sword appears in his hand. And then he casts a spell. He throws a firebolt at the nearest giant. So just mechanically, he's an Eldritch Knight. And that's his bonded Yoki. Okay, he misses the giant, unfortunately, with his first attack. But his second one is going to hit. Okay, so he does some damage to the giant. The giant looks at him, and the giant sees a sword, and his eyes light up. Woden Shieldbiter charges around the shield wall and runs into combat with the giant as well. And he's going to make 3 attacks against the nearest giant. Oh my god. And he crits twice. Where are these when it's the bad guys? Okay. So he...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What the fuck, man? Let me see. Sorry, I was going to go on my dice here. Wow. Alright, he pretty much bloodies that giant. So he swings his huge greatsword around, carves a big chunk out of its thigh, pulls it out, stabs it into his stomach, pulls it out again, and hacks one more time. And the giant is just stunned by this incredible attack. And all the Vikings are inspired by seeing their Jarl throw fire, and the very famous warrior Woden Shieldbiter start wailing on this giant. And the Vikings make a lot of attacks against the creatures in front of them. And they actually managed to kill 2 of them in the swirling melee of it all. The Vikings push forward with their shields, knock a few in the back, spears go in, and they take 2 of them out. Alright, Slither.
Yes. Are the giants now within my hunter's mark range?
No.
Still not?
No, you'd have to you not from where you were. They'd have to come quite a bit closer.
Okay, so excellent. As long as I'm not, that's a good gauge of distance. I'm safe at that distance.
Yeah.
So I look at the big one again. Was he the one who was just hit by a Shieldbiter?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
So I saw the sword that I stole magically appear in his hand, and I think, very good that I got rid of that thing. And then I see the massive amount of damage that Shieldbiter just did, and I was like, really glad I got away from him.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I notch another arrow, and one of my enemies is within 5 feet of the giant that I already hit, yes?
Yes.
All right, so that'll be sneak attack, and it'll also be...
One of your allies.
Yeah, not only is he an ally, but I also have Colossus Slayer.
Excellent.
So
how appropriate.
Yes, how appropriate. So I'm going to roll to try to shoot him in the eye again and blind him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is a +6. 17.
No, that'll miss. All
Well,
right.
it goes whizzing by.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it catches a bit of his hair.
Sure. Yeah.
And he eyes me once again. And as he eyes me, I make an obscene gesture. Come on.
Von Druk, it is your turn.
Just for mechanics, I have used the rest of my lay on hands to get myself back to full health.
Sure. Yeah.
And the liquid in my staff the level is visibly lowered. I'm going to charge at the giant that knocked like so many of those Vikings up into the air and swing my staff at his knee, and that's a critical fumble.
Wow. Okay.
Awesome.
Right. How are we gonna do this? Let's roll another d20 and see how bad this is gonna be.
That's a 7.
It's pretty bad. It's gonna be pretty bad.
Yeah.
All right. So you swing this thing at the giant, and the top of your staff, which is a little bit glassy, cracks a little bit, and the liquid inside just falls out, pours onto the ground.
Oh.
You've got a couple drops left in there.
Well, there goes more of my lay on hands. I'm gonna go and use my second attack to swing at him again.
Sure.
I spin the staff around, hoping it doesn't fucking shatter. And that's gonna be a crit.
Way. The chaos of battle.
So I'm gonna go and spend another second level spell slot. That was a 2, so 13 points of damage from the staff. That will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So a total of 26 damage to this giant. Half of it radiant.
Okay. Excuse me. All right. So then, yeah, this giant, he feels that. All right. I mean, you hit him in the leg, and he's like, "Ow!" And he looks down at you, and he says, "You're next, Laurier. You're in the longhouse."
Well, no, I'm actually hanging from the window outside the longhouse. So, is it possible for me to get to the roof of the longhouse from here?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll climb up there. How far am I from this melee?
Well, you'd have to run the distance of the longhouse to get across, pretty much.
Really? I can't see the giants from the top of the longhouse?
No, you can see them all right, yeah, but you'd have to, to get
I'm
to
not
the
trying
actual...
to get to them. No.
Okay.
I have a longbow.
Yeah, you can see them.
How far away are they?
200 feet, approximately.
200 feet, I think that's long range, isn't it?
I think longbow might be 300, 600. Or is that when it's doubled? It's 150, 300, I'm not sure.
Let me double check. It's right here. Martial, melee weapons, longbow. It's 150, 600.
150, 600, okay.
Okay. So.
Yeah, when you get up there, you can see some sort of weird half-breed of elf, also with a longbow standing up there, hiding, actually, crouching down.
Yeah, he would have to roll to see me.
Oh, you're hiding. You're right. Sorry. Yeah, you'd have to.
12 plus 6, 18. I don't know what he got on his
You
high
remember
check.
what your high check was?
No, but I can make one as an opposed roll.
Sure. Yeah. Do that, please.
So that is 11 plus 9.
Okay.
Don't see him at all.
Yeah, you don't see him.
Okay, well, I'm not going to bother trying to shoot from this range. I'm going to crouch down and try to hide myself and sneak along the snowy rooftop towards the edge. In fact, I'll just double move to try to get closer, so I'll be within range for the next round.
And I hear him doing this, right?
Would you like me to roll a stealth check as well?
You need to roll stealth, and you need to roll perception.
That is a 16 plus 9. 25 on my stealth.
Right.
I would have to crit. I get a 17 plus 4.
We're both up here.
So I still don't even hear him.
I guess you're distracted by the battle, you know. You're
Yeah,
we
totally.
both are. We don't even notice each other.
Yeah.
Although why he would be sneaking on top of the roof, I don't know.
Not to get seen by the various.
No, because I don't want to be seen by the giants. I want to use my sneak attack against them.
Okay.
Alrighty. So it's back around then to the giants. The one who has the robes on, he moves his hands and his voice booms out. And he starts to talk. And he says, "The ruler of this hold possesses a blade, the Kraken Tooth. We have come for the blade. Give it to us and we will leave your town unburnt, your fields unsalted, your womenfolk alive. Give us the blade, humans, or you will all die." And the
I
Jarl...
wish I would have kept that blade now.
and the Jarl shouts big, "Fuck you, Jotun!" And all the Vikings cheer at that. And then the giants start attacking again. So the one who has the enormous sword, who has got smacked in the knee by the paladin, he turns to attack you. Right, so he's going to hit you once. For 22 points of damage from his enormous sword. So he hits you and it cuts, and it's only a glancing blow. If it was a direct hit, it would cut you in half. Hits you in the shoulder, kind of knocks you to the side, and the sword just buries itself in the earth, and you have to struggle to pull it back out because it's so huge. The guy in the plate mail who was fighting both Hans and the shield biter, he is actually kind of worried now because he thought this would be a walkover. So he calls for the other giant who has the shield to come over. And he's going to attack shield biter once and Hans once. And missing both times. The other giant with the hammer, he comes over and he tries to attack shield biter twice. And he, what the fuck, crits him. Right, so he does significant damage. His hammer catches shield biter right in the chest and kind of knocks him back a bit. But shield biter's pretty tough, and he kind of shrugs it off and continues the fight. And then the various dudes who are fighting the shield wall will attack, and they're going to kill 7 of the Vikings in this sort of. They have these big swords, and they're just swinging them around, kind of no care for each other, and they're going to kill 7 of the Vikings in the shield wall. Okay, Kier.
Okay, just to clarify, my last turn, what I did I actually couldn't do because I cannot run and have a bonus action, I believe, but we can fix it other way. I basically went 30 feet and used a bonus action as cunning action and dashed. So let's keep it this way, yeah, because I wouldn't be able to do it any other way. So I'm still 90 feet further. And how far to the Jarl do I stand now?
If you moved another 90 feet, you're about 20 feet behind him.
Okay, if I move another 90, I would be 20 feet behind him.
Yes, sorry, if you moved another 90, yeah.
Okay. Does this battle I see, because I can see what's going on, right, through the door already, does it look like it is in any way possible to win?
Difficult, but possible, certainly, yeah. Well, actually, you haven't seen... Oh, you did see. You saw shield biter do some pretty heavy wrecking, and you know that the Jarl is quite a powerful warrior as well. And you feel with your skills, and you assume that Haldoffer's got some stuff going on as well.
Okay.
It's probably doable, but difficult.
Okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna walk closer. I'm gonna walk actually, Then, as a bonus action, again, I'm gonna dash, right?
Yeah.
But I can still use the action because that was a bonus action. I'm gonna pull out at will. While I'm doing this, I'm gonna put mage armor and false life on myself. Pull out a bow, short bow, and try and hit the closest enemy.
Okay.
So basically, what's happening? I'm getting there. I'm pulling out the bow, chucking all these spells on myself, readying a bow, and at the same time shouting, "I'm with you. I think we should run
Okay.
and live another day and live to fight another day." And I'm losing an arrow. And that's gonna be 19 to hit.
19's good.
Okay, and it's going to be. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. It's 1d6 from here. So it's gonna be 9 plus 6, 15 damage because I can do sneak attack because there's allies
Yes.
next to them, right? So yeah, 15 damage.
Okay. Yeah, and like everyone is just stunned when this arrow comes seemingly from nowhere and hits the giant who's already been quite badly injured, hits him like right in the throat, rips his jugular, and blood just sprays onto the floor, and he just falls onto his knees and then falls backwards dead. And it's a huge cheer from all the Vikings, and they're like, "Ah!" And they assume that it was the Jarl or something killed him. But the Jarl turns around and he was like, "What the fuck?" And he looks at you and his eyes widen. And he's like, "Is that a Kaldav?" But then he realized that you just killed the giant, so he's like, "Don't have time to think about this." Hans Bjornsson.
All right. Well, Hans, with this desperate need to protect everyone, because that's just what he does, and remembering that his family has lands to the west, that he has to survive to warn them.
Mhm.
Strikes out with his spear again at the giant with the full plate mail.
The other one now, yeah. One of them is dead, so the other one is the yeah.
Sorry. Then yes, the other one.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, he knows he has to. So, and that is a 19 plus 5. Hold
It's
on.
gonna do it. Yeah.
Or plus 5. I think it is. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. It is a 19, and with my improved critical, that makes it a crit.
Oh wow, nice.
So I apologize. Wait. 16 points.
Okay, excellent.
And in giant, he yells, "You can have the sword when it's in your fucking heart."
Excellent. All right. The Vikings are going to take their turn. So the Vikings in the shield wall, they are renewed, having seen one of the giants already fall. They kind of thought that this was hopeless, but they were going to go down swinging, because if you don't die with a sword in your hand, you don't go to Valhalla. But now that one of the giants is dead, they think, this is doable, we can do this. And they kill 3 more of those dudes in front of them. And the shield wall kind of rushes forwards and kind of surrounds the last few guys. The Jarl kind of makes a few practice swings with the Kraken Tooth, and then disappears and appears right next to the big giant with the huge sword, and he's going to attack him. Ooh, doing quite a bit of damage. And then Shield Biter will attack the other one who has the shield. Oh god. Okay. Yeah, so the Jarl appears next to this guy and he slashes at his hamstring with the kraken tooth and it just slices right through. So that giant is screaming in pain. Shieldbiter just rushes forward with his sword raised high and he smashes right into the shield of the giant. He's put it low to block and it cracks the giant's shield and actually cuts into the giant's arm. He pulls it out of the shield, swings it up and cuts the inside of the giant's arm as well. Um, okay, then it's Slither's turn. You're muted, Posey.
Slitter stands up from where he was hiding,
Mm-hmm.
pulls out another arrow, notches it into the bow. Is the one that he already shot in the face dead?
Yes.
He is. Who is the biggest, baddest mofo out here?
It's hard for you to say. One of them is quite heavily armored and has a big shield. The other one is sort of this kind of primal barbarian type who's not wearing any clothes but has an enormous heavy sword.
I want to go for him.
Okay.
So I'm going to gauge up, and once again, I'm going to go for the eyes.
There'll be a sudden influx of helmets with visors next week.
So to hit, that is 15.
It's going to miss.
The arrow whizzes right by.
Yep.
And then I guess as my action, I'm actually going to get off the roof.
Okay.
Any rolls needed for that, or can I just pop down?
Yeah, roll me acrobatics, I guess.
No, it's not.
Just in case you slip in the snow and fall.
Alright, so I do a beautiful backflip into the snow, and I land with the grace of a dove on a tree. So that was like 18 plus 9.
Yeah, you pretty much just fly down. You like glide down.
It's just like a gentle, like a gentle wave. That's it.
Okay.
And
sorry,
you can move on.
Okay. Vondruk?
Well, Bondrug missed his first attack the other before, so he thinks he's maybe getting a little sober. So since I'm already within 10 feet of the guy, I pull a wineskin off my belt, pull the cork out, spit it to the ground, and I just drain this wineskin down my throat as I chug it, wine spilling down the front of my face and beard, staining my armor.
You can have inspiration for that.
And I throw the wineskin away and take my staff up back in two arms. And two hands, I mean, and I charge back at this guy. May Luder take you to the fucking 9 hells, you piece of fucking giant shit. And that will be a 15 plus 6 to hit.
Yes, that's good.
I'm going to go ahead and expend a first level spell slot to get off some smites, and that was a 2. That will do 13 damage.
All right.
Just with the staff. And 5 points of radiant damage.
Okay. So
Then I'm going to swing that staff back around for my extra attack. That's a 14 plus 6 to hit.
Yep.
That was 1. So that will do 6 points of damage as the staff slams back into his knee.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, he's noticed you now, but he's also concerned with the Jarl on his back. Okay, Laurier.
Okay, I'm within 150 feet now, yeah, after
You
double
are, yeah.
moving. Okay. And so there's one of them still... Oh, no, there's still 3 giants, and is that correct?
One hasn't entered the battle at all. He's like seems to be some sort of spellcaster. He's standing at the back with his arms
He's
folded.
wearing robes, you said, yeah?
He's wearing robes. He's just at the
And
back.
there's the other one that's wearing the cattle loincloth.
Yes, and one is wearing plate armor, has a shield.
And the one wearing the loincloth, has he been hurt at all?
He's been hurt quite badly at this stage, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm going to shoot at him then.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just see here. I have sharpshooter. What the hell does that do? It gives me I know I can do the -5 to hit for +10 damage with it, but we'll see if it does anything else. Attacking at long... Oh, shit! Attacking at long range doesn't impose disadvantage. I could have attacked last round. Oh, well. Next time. I ignore half cover as well, and 3/4 cover.
Wow,
So I
that's a pretty
ignore
good feat.
cover, pretty much, unless it's full cover. Okay. Let's see here. Let's have a look. No, I'm not going to take the -5 because I don't know what their armor. Oh, he's not wearing any armor though.
No, but he's got some natural toughness, all right. You've seen him shrug off hits that should have damaged him.
Fortune favors the bold. I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to
Sure.
take the -5 for +10. And that's okay, -5, so 18 + 1, 19.
That's gonna do it. Yep.
Okay. So it's a D8 +3 normally, +10 for that. So D8 +13
Wow.
for sharpshooter. So it's 2 + 13, 15 points damage.
Nice.
Oh, but wait. He's engaged, yes?
Yes.
So I get my sneak attack dice as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what did I say? That was 15 + 5, 11, 26 points of damage, I should say.
Wow. Very nice.
And I will use my cunning action to hide.
Sure.
Because I don't want him coming over here.
Yeah, your arrow just flies straight and just hits him like right in the neck, and like he like coughs. He's still up, but I mean he's bleeding really heavily from his neck, and he's like looking around trying to figure out what the fuck just happened. He can't see anyone who shot that at him. All right, so the giants then go. This giant who has been now quite badly injured is just going to go on a rampage. So he runs forward into the shield wall and he swings his gigantic sword around. And he's, let's see, let's do his attacks. Oh, God. Yeah, he's going to kill a bunch of Vikings. Right, so 14 of the Vikings smashed to bits. Some of them cut clean in half. Some of them are just knocked into the building and they land limp like rag dolls. And he roars. The one with the hammer and the shield, he is going to take a swing at Hans because he's still engaged with Hans, and the other swing at Shieldbiter. And he'll hit Hans for 14 points of damage. And he does not hit Shieldbiter. Then you've got the 3 remaining big horned dudes, and they are no longer fighting Vikings, so they just got cleaved. So they're going to turn and they're going to fight Vondruk because he's their nearest target. Right, so that'll be 2 out of 6 hits, so that's not too bad. Okay, so 17 points from the 2 attacks. They swing their greatswords at you, and you're just not, your armor's not able to block it all, so you take 17 points, Vandrug. The spellcasting giant, he is moving forward, and then he appears pretty much next to the Jarl. And he then, that's his turn actually, he can't do anything else. Alright, Kier.
Okay, so we have bloodied giant in just robes, then a huge giant with a great sword, and 3 horned dudes. Is that correct?
The guy in the robes is fine, he hasn't been touched yet. The guy in the loincloth is quite badly damaged. The guy in the plate mill seems to be alright.
Oh, so 3 giants.
Yeah. One of them hadn't entered the combat yet.
Wow. Wow, wow. Okay, well, Kid can't see this fight being won, but he doesn't want to get engaged too close, but he wants to do some damage. And and he's gonna step as far away as he can for his longbow to still be able to get the wounded giant. Okay, so short bow.
Sure.
Did I say longbow? Short bow, I meant. And he's gonna shoot Du-du-du. So that's 23 to hit.
Yep, that's perfect.
Okay. And it's... Oh. Hold on. 10 plus 6, 16 damage.
Wow, nice work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 16 damage.
Excellent.
And as a bonus action, he's going to dodge.
Okay. Dun-dun-dun. Hans Bjornsson.
All right. So Hans just got hit hard. He's like, his eyes are kind of glazed over, and he hears the cawing of the ravens even louder. He kind of like, he laughs and spits out blood, and he yells, "Odin will accept me with open arms. But what of you?" As he runs, and I'm going to use my inspiration on this attack.
Sure.
I rolled a 19.
Nice.
So it will be 17 points of damage.
Oh, excellent. So were you hitting the guy with the plate mail, right? The shield?
Oh yeah, the one who
Yeah.
who just knocked me down to my last 3 hit points.
Awesome. Wow. Okay. Okie dokie.
And as a bonus action, hold on, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
As a bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and use my second win to get a
Sure.
D10 plus my con modifier.
Okay.
So I get 8 more hit points.
The remaining Vikings, who were just cleaved by that ridiculous giant, they run forward, they swarm around him, and they start hacking and hacking and hacking. And he takes, wow, quite a bit of damage. And they managed to bring it down. They're all kind of around his legs, and they're just hacking with their axes and stuff. And eventually, kind of from 1,000 cuts, he falls to the ground. The Jarl has had a giant appear right in front of him, and he tries to stab him with his kraken tooth. And he does stab him twice. Okay. And Shieldbiter, seeing the Jarl in trouble, runs straight to the Jarl's aid and will attack that guy as well. Wow. Critically missing. Oh man. So on the confirm roll for the critical miss, he rolled another 1. So his...
Oh, he stabbed himself.
I think his sword is just going to be completely broken. I don't know how you could stab yourself with a greatsword. I don't think that's even possible. It's so far away from you. So I think, yeah, he's going to try and hit this giant, but he hits it really badly, and the sword cracks and breaks, and he's now weaponless. So he'll pick up a sword off, a normal long sword off a fallen Viking. Okay, Slither.
Slither shouts out, "Jarl, I'm coming to your aid. Not just an arrow to take out this robed creature. Is its mouth open? Can I shoot it in the tongue?"
Let's steal this from Josh. Roll a percentile.
Okay. 98.
Then no. From what I learned yesterday, you want to roll low on percentiles. Is that right, Josh?
Sounds good. All right.
Not always. I mean, if it's a 98% chance for his mouth open, then his mouth's going to be open. What I do is if you roll below a 50, you don't hit. If you roll over a 50, you do for enemy fire, for
Right,
friendly
okay.
fire.
It's okay. I mean, we'll play it however you want. It doesn't matter.
Okay, sure.
Then I'm going to try and pierce his lips shut with an arrow.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. So this is going to be Colossus, sneak attack, and the arrow.
Mhm.
Is he within 90 feet?
You're off the roof.
Yes.
You have to move a little bit. You have to move 20 feet.
as I'm moving, I actually, under my breath, I do my hunter's mark.
Mhm.
And I say, Loki, in your frost giant heart I stab thee. And I cast my mark upon this frost giant. I pull back my bow, the snow's falling gently in my hair, and I just see red. So that will be 17 plus 6 to hit.
Yep.
Okay, so with Hunter's Mark, this is going to be 4 dice of damage.
Wow.
So we have 6, 5, 6, and a 3.
So 20.
Okay, so that's 11. Yep, 20. 20 points of damage.
Very nice.
Do I hit him in the lip?
You hit him in the mouth, yeah. So it'll go and like cut across his lip. So he's got this big rip in his lip.
Good.
And he roars out in pain and a lot of rage. Mondruk.
I'm going to spin my staff around, and I guess I'm going to try to crack one of these horn buckers in the head. That's a crit!
Nice.
I love you again. You're not belling me anymore. And that will do 8, 9, 10, 11. So 21 points of damage.
Wow, very nice.
And then I'm going to go ahead and spend
That'll
another first spell
That'll
slot.
drop that guy, so you can hit a different one.
Okay, then I won't spend that one. I'm going to spend this spell slot on the next guy I hit. Okay, I got to show you this.
It's another crit. I can feel it. I can't see, but I'm going to say it's going to be a crit. Yeah, I can see it now.
Is this your magic dice?
Yes.
You're not supposed to use this when you're DMing us.
So you saw that, right?
I did indeed. Go ahead.
That will be 13. Well, luckily, that's only 16 points of damage from the the staff. And you maximize all damage dice, don't you?
Yeah, you all your dice are maximized once, and then you roll the rest.
Okay, so that's 8 and 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25 points of radiant damage.
Damn, okay, that'll drop him too. Very nice.
So you see me just like swing my fucking staff around. I crack one guy in the head and cave in the side of his skull and spin around. Bring the staff back to bear on another guy and just cave in another skull.
Very nice work. Laurier, you were on top of the roof still.
Yeah, I'm going to be shooting at the one in the robes now.
Mm-hmm.
Since the one in the loincloth went down, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's see. He is engaged, so I get my sneak attack, right?
Yep.
Okay. If I hit him. Do I want to take the -5 again? Yeah, why not? Let's go for it. I think that's going to be a miss. Yeah. That's a 9. Sorry,
Total?
10. 10.
Yeah, that's gonna miss.
Yeah. Okay.
That it?
Just with my action, yeah, I'll just hide again.
Okay. All right. So the very few remaining giants, and the one in the plate mail shouts at the one in the robe, and he says, "Get the fucking sword and let's get out of here." And so the robes begins to cast a spell. He's going to roll with disadvantage to hit because of his various injuries to his face.
Yes, that was the idea.
I just need to find the spell in the book. Sorry, quite unprofessional. Okay, it's actually not a hit roll.
Is it a DC?
Yeah. I'll increase the
Make it.
DC by 2 or something. It's for the
Just
Jarl.
give them
anyways.
advantage to make it.
Oh yeah, okay, that'll work. God. All right. Oh wait. Oh no, it isn't a hit. So he'll roll with disadvantage. Okay. That's still gonna hit. I rolled a 13 and a 16. So where are my dice at? Right, okay. So he despite the like half of his lip is like hanging limp from his face, but the other half just somehow manages to rattle off these horrible sounding words, and this kind of green energy appears around his hand, and he points at the Jarl, and this energy shoots out and hits the Jarl, and all the life force just drains from him, and the Jarl just falls dead. Bam, like that. And the giant just laughs, pretty much like a maniac. Like, and he reaches up or down and he grabs the sword, which looks like a dagger in his hand, and he turns around and starts to walk away. And as he does so, some of the Vikings are going to try and smack him with opportunity attacks to see if they can. Oh no. Okay. All right. So the other giant, then the plate mail giant, runs pretty much between the guy with the robes and everyone else who was fighting him, and he just stands there and he bangs his hammer against the shield, and he takes a swing at a row of Vikings.
Do I get an opportunity attack from him as he runs from me?
You do, yeah.
Does an 18 hit?
It does not.
Okay, I missed.
Okay. Yeah, so another row of Vikings, 12 Vikings, taken out by this guy who just swings the hammer, kicks with his feet, swings the shield. And the Frost Knight who has the sword turns around and says, "Thank you, Jarl. You have been most accommodating." Okay. The remaining horned guy also kind of runs next to the giant, and he kind of stands there to basically block anyone from getting to the guy with the robes.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and slip by the guy.
Okay, Keir.
So, how far away is the rogue giant now from me?
He's 60 feet, maybe a bit further.
60 feet, maybe a bit further.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna... Bless you.
Thank you.
And he's a bit wounded, right?
He has been hurt a little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He can't decide what to do, really. But he's gonna try to get to that giant. So he's gonna. Can he walk through, like, close enough to then throw himself Misty Step and get to that rogue giant?
You'd have to run through the fighting.
Right. So I wouldn't be able to really. Okay, then as he sees that there's no way of doing it, he's gonna just run to that horned guy, try to slash him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not run, just come closer to that guy and try and slash him. So first die is gonna be 15 to hit.
That's gonna miss.
It's gonna miss. Oh, by the way, he basically took out his 2 short swords.
Sure.
And the other sword is 18 plus 6, 24.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. To the offhand, I can't. I can't add what, proficiency or
You don't add
dexterity?
the damage bonus. You just roll a flat dice.
Flat
Unless you
dice or with proficiency? Isn't it with proficiency?
You
to
still
hit,
get proficiency to your attack, yeah. You just don't get a
to
bonus.
damage you don't add anything.
To damage nothing. Okay.
Yeah, you never add proficiency to damage anyway. It's only for it to hit.
Okay. Doo-doo-doo. So that's 2 plus. That's 5 damage.
Okay. Hans Bjornsson.
All right, I see the Jarl is down, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And there's still the one-horned guy left, or they're leaving?
They're basically the horned guy and the guy in the giant in the plate mail are kind of trying to block anyone from following the robe giant, who's walking and trying to pretty much get out of there with the sword.
All right. Well, Hans is stricken with the memory of how the Jarl actually, became such a power with that sword, and how before that it was Hans's family that was considered widely the most powerful. But he puts all that aside and he runs up to the Jarl and he casts Cure Wounds.
All right.
And the Jarl gets 10 hit points.
I need to check something. Okay, I need to ask you is then Finger of Death, right? The next turn, the next giant's turn, that thing rises as a zombie. Does that mean he can still be healed in the turn in between?
Well, see, it depends on if he's dead or unconscious. Can't rise as a zombie unless he's dead. If he's unconscious, he can be healed. But if he's dead, Cure Wounds won't help him anyway.
Right. Okay. Well then, it's a nice attempt, but he's gone.
He can use Spare the Dying.
Not if he's already dead. He
Not if
can't.
he's already dead.
Dead.
If he's dead, he's dead.
Oh, well.
Okay.
But at least we know now that he's coming back as a zombie next turn.
Yeah, and I'm right above him. Great.
Right. So is that it?
Yeah, that would be my whole action.
All right. The remaining Vikings are horrified that the Jarl is dead, and they're not really sure what to do. They are wavering, but Shield Biter, he charges with just a shitty little longsword he picked up. He charges the remaining giant and swings at him and stuff. So the other Vikings follow. They charge the two guys. Okay, so yeah, they do quite a bit of damage, but the plate mail giant is just shrugging off blows. He's blocking with the shield. He's doing pretty fine. Excuse me. Slitter.
Is the robe giant within range?
You have a longbow, right? Then yeah.
Okay. Is his back to me? He was walking away?
Yes.
Okay. Is he holding the sword in his one hand?
No, he's like sequestered into his robes.
Understood. Is there a way that how are his robes tied? With a belt? What?
It's like so it goes over his head and it's just like loose, and it's obviously.
So he must have a belt on the inside where he's carrying. All right.
Yeah, he's got like a tunic or whatever on, and over that he's got like a coat, which is the robe, and in the pocket of that he's got the sword.
Does it look like I'd be able to target an ankle or a knee, something to hinder his movement?
You definitely try.
That's what I want to do. Since his back's to me, do I roll with advantage?
No, you're quite far away.
But he can't see me.
Well, usually you just get advantage if
If he's
you have
blind to
allies,
the attack.
if you have allies helping you. I mean,
Fair enough. All right. Well, he still has my hunter's mark on him.
yes.
Okay. So 14 plus 6 for 20 to hit.
Yes, that'll hit.
Thank God. All right. Hopefully this is going to take out his knee. All right. So 4, 4, 6, 4.
18.
Yes, sir. 18.
Okay. Yeah, you do hit him in the knee. He stumbles a little bit. So the arrow has hit him pretty much in the back of the knee, and he kind of slows a lot.
So for my movement, I'm going to do dash as a bonus action, and then I'm going to do my regular movement, and I'm going to move to where, as close as I can to Shield Biter, and that direction.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Vondruk.
Okay. You said the horde guy ran away from me and is now blocking the robed giant.
The horn guy's actually been downed by the charge of Shieldbiter and the other Vikings.
Okay, then I just run towards the charge at the robed giant.
No, there's still one plate mail wearing
I
shield.
was on the other side of it, remember? I was in front of the shield wall. He moved past the shield wall.
Then I'm confused as to how this works. Because, okay, sure.
And I'm going, as I run, I'm spinning my staff, and I'm bringing it right up between his legs, and I'm trying to bust this rope giant right in the testicles. That's a 19 plus 6 to hit.
Yep.
That's a 1. So that will do 13 points of damage.
Nice.
I'm going to spin it around again, and I'm going to try to hit him right back in the balls. That's a 16 plus 6 to hit. And that will do another 13 points of damage.
Very nice. Okay. All right. Very good. Laurier.
Okay, so this robed guy has a sword and he is trying to leave. I am going to shoot at him.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot him in the knee!
Again, I'm not doing any called shots, but I'll take the -5.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a 20.
Yes.
So it does 6 plus 8, 14 plus 10 for that. So 24 points of damage.
Ooh, nice.
That was my action. So I will move, because the melee is still quite a ways away from me, right?
Yeah, you're on top of the building still.
I will move 30 feet in that direction. I'll jump down if I need to, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then as my bonus action, I will dash, so move another 30 feet. Because I'm not going to let him get away.
Okay.
And I have a plan for getting through the wall when I need to, when I get
Sure.
there, but I'll deal with that later.
So it's the giant's turn. The one with the plate mail, he sees that Vondruk has run past him, and he's not okay with that. It's his job to make sure that this rogue giant gets away. So he turns away from the Vikings and just runs. They all attack him. Okay. Yeah, they do quite a bit of damage to him. And Hans, you'll get an opportunity attack as well.
Awesome. That is a 22.
Yep.
Yay.
Lloyd, look at the chat.
9 points of damage.
Okay, very good. Yeah, so he runs up to.
Wouldn't Kier be also within the range of him?
Yes, sorry, you are. Go ahead. You can make an opportunity attack.
Lovely. 17?
No, that'll miss.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll a percentile to see if you shatter the testicle. I mean, 2 hits to the giant bulls.
$100.
Yeah. Alright, you shattered him. And he kind of squeals like a little girl. This guy runs up to you, he attacks you with his hammer. Okay, he's going to hit you once. Six. For 23 points of damage.
I'm dropped.
Alright, so he's running, he doesn't even stop, he just swings and knocks you aside. The giant rogue wizard, he's literally on a single hit point, and he he calls out and he says, "Master, take the sword!" And he waves his arms around a little bit, and a little kind of flicker of a portal appears, and it's not fully formed, you can see that. And for a moment it just kind of flickers there, and then it solidifies, and out of it steps this guy. And he is about 10 feet tall. His skin is totally red, so crimson red. He's got this armor on, and it's burnished brass and copper, and it's smoking. So he's clearly extremely warm. He's giving off heat, and so it's smoking. It's it's sizzling on his skin. He's got this big black beard, and he walks out, and you can hear him, even no matter how far away you are, you can hear his voice. It carries really, really powerfully. "I have to do everything myself. You have failed me, you fool."
I would like to cast Banishment.
It's not your turn.
I don't have that spell anyway. I'm just saying I'd like to.
And I shoot him in the dick hole. That's my action.
So yeah, he says, "You have failed me. I have to do everything myself, you fucking Jotun." So he reaches down, and he takes a sword. He cuts the Jotun's throat with it, and then he walks towards the portal. And the other giant is like, "Master, wait! Bring me with you!" No. And he walks through the portal and it closes. So
know who I'm shooting next round.
the other giant just is now on his own. His leader dead, abandoned, and he just stands there. He sighs and he raises his shield. And then it's Kier's turn.
Well, Kier, seeing all this, is gonna run over to. He's a little bit confused. The Jarl is down. It's he doesn't know what's going on, or he just saw another creature going through the portal. Is that creature the creature from his dreams?
It is exactly the same creature, yeah.
And he stood there for a second, completely stoked. But then he just shakes it off and just sees that the portal closes and comes to the big giant and tries to slash him with his swords, and that is 19 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. And the damage would be 5 plus 3. To 8, and the other blade. That's 25 to hit.
Yep.
And that's only 2 damage.
Okay, so 10 total.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Laurier. So you run up, you with your quick little short swords, you just dash, and you get both of his knees.
Cool. That's great.
Well, Laurier is just going to sit and shoot at him. I'm not going to take the -10 this time.
Mm-hmm.
Or the -5, sorry, to hit. This guy's wearing plate mail. I figure he's going to be harder to hit anyway. So 14 plus 6 is 20.
Yep, that'll do it.
Did I get skipped?
So,
Did I get skipped? What happened?
Maybe.
Wait. Oh, it's not. Sorry, it's not at all your turn.
It's Vic's turn, isn't
Sorry,
I mean,
yeah.
I'll take it, but okay.
Sorry, no, it's yeah.
That's
It's,
right, I rolled shit damage.
sorry, it's actually I don't know why that happened. Sorry, I skipped everybody. Hans, it's your turn.
Well, Hans realizes that he can't save the Jarl, but he sees that the Paladin of Loder is dropped. Is he within my move to get to?
Sure.
Then I will run up to him, I will lay my hands on him and do my Spare the Dying
Okay.
on him.
You stabilize him.
Yes.
All right. So, Shield Biter, he is distraught. He has no idea what. The whole place is in ruins.
Meanwhile, I'm yelling, press the attack. Yeah.
So Shield Biter is kind of just really fucking angry that he's failed his Jarl. His whole job was to keep the Jarl alive and safe, and he hasn't done that. So he just runs as quickly as he can towards this other giant, but he can't quite get to him. The remaining Vikings, they look to you, Hans, and you say press the attack, and so they run out to try and get this guy. So they'll get to him next turn if he's still there. Slitter.
So, this paladin giant, as a bonus action, I move my hunter's mark to him.
Mm-hmm.
I notch an arrow, and I try to catch the glint. Is he wearing a visor?
He's not wearing a helmet.
I catch the glint of his eye, and I see kind of the sun and the whole sky in his eye. And hopefully that's all going to be reflected in the tip of my arrow. So 14 plus 6 to hit is a 20.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So 5, 4, 6, 4. So that'll be
19.
Yep, 19 points of damage into the face.
He does. It's the last thing he sees is the world reflected in the needle-sharp, glinting shine of your arrow, and it goes straight into his eye and out the other side, and he drops.
And I say, that's for the Jarl. And immediately, as this happens, I said, I asked you about giants. You said nothing. You laughed in my face. It wasn't until I took his sword and ran out till you met them yourselves. Next time, listen to me, Vikings. And I walk towards Shield Biter.
Yeah, they're all. I mean, all the Vikings are just shell shocked. To them, giants are as likely to exist as they are for us. You know, they thought they were a bedtime story to scare kids. They were sure giants weren't real. You know, and then to have them appear and just wreck the place, kill their leader, they're just absolutely shell shocked and really morale is low. Lots of them are talking about what are we going to do, where are we going to go? We can't stay here. We need to go tell the king. We need to go tell everybody.
I tell them to stay calm and carry on.
Okay, anyone want to do anything? So in the aftermath,
I will go around doing my spare the dying cantrip on anyone that I can.
Yeah.
I'll just cast good berries. I'll make 10 berries, and I'll pass out the berries to the hurt individuals.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone looks like they're dying.
As I'm yelling for the Vikings to meet me at the Longhouse, you know.
Yeah.
I just kind of unconsciously moan for wine.
Okay, so you want to gather the... Sorry, go ahead.
Kerry's just gonna wipe his blades against his trousers, but still hold them in his hands, but lower them down. And he's gonna look around, see who's standing, and see people's reaction.
Yeah, so it's pretty much it's dark now. It's going to be nighttime by the end of that, and so like most of the people haven't even noticed like the fact that Keir and Luria are here. You know, they were just so caught up in the whole thing, and now you guys.
Lurier's still hiding on the roof. Oh no, he's not on the roof anymore. That's true.
No, you're down.
No, I'm gonna start recovering arrows if I can. Then.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, do you want to gather everyone in the longhouse?
Yes. Yes. And make sure they gather those who aren't dead, and take them someplace safe.
I start a petition to make Shieldbreaker the new Jarl.
All right, the various Vikings, they do walk kind of slowly, dejectedly into the longhouse, and they kind of gather. Do you guys want to go, all of you?
Well, Kerry's gonna stay a little bit behind, and he's gonna look around, look around and see if Laurie's anywhere close.
Yeah, you can spot him. He's picking up arrows.
He's gonna telepathically ask him, "What do you think about all this?"
I think it's a fuck up, is what I think. Vikings can't fight for shit.
Should we actually join them? Or
I'm so glad I'm in the longhouse already.
You can't hit it. Stop that.
I'm unconscious, so I'll go wherever somebody drags me.
Yeah, someone will drag you into the longhouse, and they'll start healing you and stuff.
How many dead giants do we have here now? 4?
4 dead giants, yeah.
I'm going to try to collect 4 dead giant teeth.
And I'm walking around collecting the ends of their pinkies. And also searching their bodies.
Once I gather everyone in the longhouse, no offense to Shieldbreaker or to the half-elf or to the elf, but that's not how a Jarl is chosen.
I'm just gonna think to Laurie, I'm going in, and I'm gonna follow behind everyone else, but slowly, still having blades lowered down, but in my hands.
So we'll make the assumption you guys all get to the longhouse, unless anyone wants to do something inside still.
No.
Was there anything on the giants of note? Any kind of papers, names?
Yeah, what you
any kind of clue?
What you do see is that the armor and stuff they have all have a marking like the little logo I have on my lower third, which is the shape of a dragon around Yggdrasil, which is the world tree. So they all had this marking on their armor. The guy who had no armor on, he had it tattooed on his chest. So this is some sort of marking.
Would it be a religion check?
It would be, yeah.
Should I make a religion check?
On my religion check.
Thought you were in
Are you?
Huh?
Thought you were in the longhouse.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm out
I
here
am,
collecting body parts.
I'm sure I saw the symbol sometime during the battle.
Skitter, you go ahead and make the check, because you're looking at it right now.
Alright, so with my plus of 0, that's a 5.
Okay, yeah, you think it's probably like a dragon around a tree. Might be a tree. You have no idea.
Alright. I'm just looking for clues then. I don't even recognize this as a clue.
Yeah. Apart from that, no, you don't see anything that's noteworthy. They have gear, but I mean, it's giant gear. You couldn't possibly make any use of it, you know?
Since
No, I'll just set them on fire in the yard. And take their heads and put them on spikes.
Very good.
Since I'm removing teeth from a tooth from each one, can I get a chance to notice the symbol?
Yes, absolutely.
What was the roll? Was it religion, you said?
Religion, yeah. Or arcana.
I'll stick with... Oh, yeah, I got +1 in either, but yeah. 16 plus 1, 17.
Yeah, okay. So this is... actually, as a Kaldofer, you would know this. This is like the cult of the world serpent. And it's like an organization. I wouldn't say organization. It's like a cult that's trying to bring Ragnarok sooner than later. Ragnarok is the end of the world.
Is it usually affiliated with dragons? Or, I'm sorry, with giants, I mean?
Not necessarily, no. Giants wouldn't have been aligned with it generally. But then you did see this weird thing step out of a portal. That wasn't a giant. It's to do with Jormungandr, who's the world serpent. He's a serpent that circles the entire world.
Yeah, I know.
And he bites his tail and he keeps the world stable. If he were to move, the world would fall into nothingness. So,
he's going to kill the serpent.
So this is the cult. So you know this.
Interesting.
They're trying to bring Ragnarok. They're trying to there are certain things that have to happen for Ragnarok to occur, which is the end of the world basically.
What
And
is the softest fabric or substance or whatever that this mark is on? Anything that I can cut away?
skin.
Okay, I'll start cutting away his skin.
Hmm.
Because I want to take that to the longhouse. When I do walk in, they're going to probably want to kill me anyway.
Yeah.
Might as well have something just to show them.
Just as a little thing, I have a feature here, favorite enemy for giants. I get advantage on rolls to know anything about them.
Okay. Well, this isn't necessarily a giant-related thing. That's why it was not a nature check or religion check, because giants aren't traditionally associated with this thing. Giants haven't been about causing the end of the world. They're kind of all for messing with the gods, and but generally they're not the most organized when it comes to their destruction.
Mm.
So it's quite worrying that now they've clearly got some sort of leadership and they're organizing. So you walk into the longhouse then, Laurier, and a lot of the Vikings turn around and they say, "Oh my fucking god, it's a fucking Kaldalfer." Oh, and they all kind of knackered, pick up their axes and their shields, and they're as if the giants weren't enough, and as I'm shouting and screaming.
And I've still got the spear in my right. I've got this huge, it's basically like a scroll-sized thing of giant flesh, and I hurl it down on the floor in front of me as far as I can hurl it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just stand there with my shield, butt on the ground. I don't say anything. I'm not a talker really with these guys, so.
Yeah, Hans, you would probably recognize that symbol.
Yeah. Yeah. I yell at the Vikings to stay their weapons. There's been enough bloodshed today.
All right. Did you want to make a speech to the Vikings?
Oh yeah. Yes. About right now Odin is walking amongst the dead, choosing those to dine with him tonight. And
will he choose your Jarl?
The Jarl will be given a glorious funeral.
The Yar will be drinking at the right hand of Loder tonight.
How comforting.
There's no need to choose a new Jarl. Instead, I would advise all who are unable to fight to head west to the lands of Jarl Ironside.
Yeah, there's a murmur of agreement. They're yeah, he's a pretty good guy, I guess. Yeah, we can't stay here. And a few of them are we definitely can't stay here. There's more giants. And a calmer voice is just saying, okay, let's think about this reasonably. And the other ones are let's get the fuck out of here.
Those who can fight will split up and head south, east, and west to help reinforce the other Jarls and warn them of coming attack. Once we give the Jarl his proper funeral and we take everything we can, we will burn this place to the ground. They will not take it while it's intact.
Except the wine. We're taking all the wine.
Well, wine and food have to go with the people.
Yeah, there's a really sort of half-hearted cheer when you finish your speech. They're yeah. Because, in the face of it all, you might be an inspirational dude, but their Jarl is dead and they've just seen monsters in real life. So, yeah, they think that's a fine plan. And so you set to the Jarl's funeral and we'll probably leave it there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, okay. Well, thanks for watching, people at home. If you want to plug your channels, various people, go ahead.
Yeah, so thanks for watching this on Fantastic Dimensions. Keep an eye out here for more future actual play videos. We've got another episode of the Defiance Chronicles coming up on Sunday. And we'll be continuing to also promote the Viking one-shots and campaign videos. More videos to come from the Cataclysm campaign as well. And yeah, so I'll hand it on over to Philip.
Hey, this is Philip with Maps and Dragons. Please stay tuned to my channel for future map making videos. Anyone else?
Yeah, this is Josh. I'm of Art of D20. Go ahead and stay tuned to my channel. I'm just starting my character race videos, which Ian helped me with 2 of them earlier. The more of those will be coming out, and there will be more videos coming up about the Cataclysm campaign that I'm going to be running the next game here in a week after Saturday. I actually think Philip's taking it over after that one. So y'all stay tuned, like, subscribe to all of us, and do what you do.
Yeah, I would recommend going to that Facebook group. That's how I found all these wonderful people. Tabletop RPG one-shot group. It's the case of having too many games to play, which is always a good way to be. Games running pretty much every night of the week, all night, every night. So if you're looking for games to play, that's a good place to go.
Well, thank you, Dungeon Jarl.
No problemo.
I'm going to stop the broadcast there then. Thanks very much.